Subscribe now. EU debates.
To clarify on those dates, so 15th of October is the first date by which member states should report to the Commission on their progress on the energy savings plan, which was adopted in July. So it's every 2 months, and this would be the first 2-month interval after the entry into force, which was, if memory serves me correctly, the 9th of August, and it's on the 15th of each month, every 2 months that they would report. So that's when the member states should communicate to the Commission the measures that they've been adopting and the progress that they've made in terms of reducing the demand. It goes without saying, I think, that on that day we won't make an instant appraisal of those measures, and we will have to look at what member states have put in place and what they've communicated to us. Yeah, and on your second question, I can only repeat what I said to the earlier question. You know, member states have collectively committed to phase out as soon as possible our dependence on Russian fossil fuels, and we have specific targets to reduce gas demand for this winter, which contributes to this plan. I mean, I would recall that we don't have any sanctions in place on gas for the time being. You know, we have sanctions which have entered into force on coal and which are being phased in on oil. For the moment, there are no sanctions on gas, but there's obviously a strong political commitment to reduce demand as quickly as we can.
Indeed, so we would be very interested to see how the Hungarian authorities present the data to us on that date.
As you know, we discussed this at length on Tuesday. The Commission is working on both a long-term reform of the energy markets and what the President has said is an emergency intervention in the markets. Now we need to look at a variety of different tools and options, and you will know and will have read about many of those. The Commission has published several communications over the past year, setting out the different tools which are available, the pros and cons of the different tools. Now, one of the things that I understand was discussed in Parliament was electricity demand reduction. At the moment, we have the agreement on gas demand reduction. Of course, electricity is another area where, you know, we could consider potentially going into a little bit more detail. But again, it's a little bit premature to say what the Commission will be coming out with.
I mean, just to be clear, an extremely important variable in any effort to overcome the current difficult situation we are in when it comes to electricity prices is demand, right? We have to work on everything related to demand. By the way, working on electricity demand is a policy that has been in place for decades through energy-saving programs, etc., etc. So it's nothing new. But what we are trying to say is that intervening in this area requires, as we said on Tuesday, that you look at both sides of or rather at all sides of this rather complex equation, one of which is the demand for energy in Europe in general.